I'm like gonna cringe. I do not want to do this. Like I actually don't want to do this at all. Letting watching this show. I really don't want to do this, but the people have spoken. Hello, hello, hello. It is Rena here and welcome to Show Me, the channel where I show you about my life, specifically about movies and shows that I watch. First of all, it's 4th of July. I picked like the worst day to film because people blow fireworks. I'm like pointing at my window. And also it's like at night, which is like when people blow the fireworks. So yes, you will hear boom, 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 boom. Like all freaking day. I am so sorry. Like I actually am. I'll try to make it like as minimal as possible, but I don't know what this like. I don't know what to say. I'm not even looking at them. So sad. But anyways, hello again. So as you can see by the title and by the intro, we are watching The Idol. We're only watching one episode and I'm just gonna give commentary like as I watch it. You know, first episodes are always kind of hit or miss because it's like literally first episode, it's like the pilot. Like, you know, it could be like really good, it could be really bad. If you couldn't already tell, I'm kind of like a conservative person. Like not in the sense of like politics and like values and stuff like that. Like that's like whatever. I don't know, I'm a baby, bro. I don't mind watching it. I could watch it. Like that's not the issue. It's just like when it's just so when things are just explicit, it just feels like to be explicit kind of stuff like that. Like just gratuitous, you know? Like it's just like, bro, like what's the point? Like every single minute of the show, you're just like, bro, at this point, just call it like soft core, you know? And I think that's like a complaint that Sam Levinson has in his other shows like Euphoria, especially like Keenan Checks, like in every single episode and every minute, you're just like, what does this add to the story? Like, is this that important? After this, we're gonna watch something wholesome because like I can't. Here we go! You think it's like a real, I think that's like a real tear like flowing from her eye. Like she's actually like upset at the fact that she's being this objectified. I feel like that's like the big theme of the show. Like I haven't watched the whole show, but like just objectification probably is like one of them. Being forced to do things that you don't want to do in the name of being famous, you know? It always seems so vulnerable. Like I feel like a big thing is like the vulnerability of it all because you do all these things. Like let's just, obviously there's like acting where it's just like, oh, it's just like, you know, clean, I guess. Like it's very innocent and stuff like that. But like there's obviously acting where it's like this like type of adult stuff. And it's like to put yourself in that position in front of like a millions of people. So in front of just one person is already very vulnerable. But imagine like you're doing it in front of like a whole crew and a whole set and then cameras and lights and everything. And then we're just paying attention to you. I just, it makes me just like, bruh, you gotta give props to actors like for real. Because it's like very vulnerable. But I also like how like, in this, especially in this like scene, like, you know, everyone just kind of like goes back to doing what they have to do and like they just start talking and stuff like that. And then even her name's Jocelyn, she like just goes back to like smoking a cigarette. Her friend's like on her phone, you know. It's very like, it's as if like it's just mundane. Like for me, a normal regular person, like I can't imagine putting myself in her footsteps because I'd be like freaking out. But I guess after you do it enough and it becomes like your second job, like your second life, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm doing these things in front of a whole bunch of people, but like that's just part of the job, you know?
If you live in Sioux City, Iowa, you are never gonna meet a girl like Jocelyn.
You know, this whole concept of like, you kind of like, you know, there's always like this discussion where it's like, should you be, you're romanticizing these things. Like whenever there's like mental illness, or just like things that are like very controversial in shows, there's always this discussion that is like to be had where it's like, are you romanticizing it? Like that was a big issue in Euphoria. They were like, you're romanticizing mental illness and like party culture and stuff like this when like in reality people shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff. But honestly, like as hard as it is to like hear about it, like I think it's kind of true where people kind of like do like mental illness because it's kind of like when you're a normal regular person, I of course air quotes because like no one is truly normal and regular, right? But like when you're just a normal regular person working your 9 to 5, like just living life in a typical way, you know, your typical like life that everyone kind of like has, you do kind of like want and yearn for like this sense of like adventure and like living a crazy life. So like when you see people on TV like partying, just doing these like crazy things, you're kind of like, I want to do that, even though I know it's not good. You're just like, I'm probably projecting. Let me speak for myself. When I say I mean me. But it's just like, yeah, like I don't want to wear my 9 to 5. I want to go party and like do like bad things with bad people because like obviously logically it's not the right thing to do, but it's just like a break from this monotonous life. So like I think honestly, like as hard as it is to hear and as sick as it makes me to like watch it, it's like, yeah, it's true.
Him out of
I feel like this is illegal, bro. This is crazy.
Okay.
This is crazy. Like the things that they do in Hollywood. This is why it's called Holly weird, okay? because they do some weird stuff. I guess every field of work has like weird people though, and like really like behind the scenes like trash that happens. So I guess you can't just be like, oh yeah, Hollywood's weird. Like literally, I feel like every field is just like hiding things. It's just probably the level of power that they each have.
Disgusting is the fact that people aren't looking.
Jenny from Blackpink. Like I'm not a Blink, y'all, but I gotta shout out my K-pop girls when I see them, okay? I think if I'm not mistaken, I think this is like the first time a K-pop idol has been in a Western TV show, like a starring role. So like, awesome, it's really cool.
See that face? Wow. Okay, sir, calm down. You don't have to be so.
Also, another thing is like, okay, like this is how people actually talk in LA. So I'm actually from the South, if you didn't realize it. Like I got that Southern hospitality. So like I'm a very like, I mean like, it's gonna sound conceited, but I'm a very polite person in the sense of like Southern hospitality has like formed and morphed me. So I actually went on a trip to San Francisco recently, and like one thing that was like grinding my gears was how freaking rude people were. And they weren't even being like outwardly rude. It's just they're so freaking quiet. No please, no thank you, no freaking holding the doors open for people. They're just to themselves. There was no manners. And so I wonder if it's like LA's kind of like a version of that, except even higher, where everyone's just like cussing you out and stuff like that. I don't know. I heard it's just like the East Coast. Like the West Coast is basically the East Coast, except more fake. I don't know if that's true, y'all, but hey.
That little princess.
It's crazy. I hope no one from LA is like listening to this and like getting offended. I think because, I mean, first of all, I've never been close to being an LA girl at all. Not even like industry girl. So like, just keep that in mind. I'm a everyday suburban girl. It's just weird. Like, I mean, there's fake people everywhere, but it just seems like this is just so freaking fake. Like you just have to like watch your back. And like at every turn, I feel like I would have a freaking psychotic break if that was the case, where I had to like watch my back and watch what I say at every single freaking turn. I think it's also like a problem though, like if you're a little too trusting. I wouldn't even consider myself too trusting, like, but if you're just kind of like more gullible, like that is kind of a problem. But like, geez, to be on guard like every second of every day, I would literally like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'd survive LA if that's the case.
Josh, you got this.
I like the difference in their hair. Obviously, we all know like the blonde versus blonde. The blonde versus brunette like battle. That's been like a big theme in like every single piece of media. The blonde is like the sweet, innocent one, and the brunette's like the sexy, hot one. So like, I wonder how that will unfold.
7. Yes.
Woo! That was good. She was so much better this time. Can we let it be known that I never found The Weeknd sexy or hot? Actually, okay, that's a lie. When Wicked Games first came out, I had the biggest crush on The Weeknd. And that was like a long time ago, like when I was a kid, which is really crazy because I should not have been listening to The Weeknd when I was a kid. But that was the only time I found him sexy. I saw, like, I didn't go to his concert, but I saw videos of the concert where he was like doing the tongue thing. And I was just like, girl, just stick to music, bro. And like now I see that other people are starting to come to their senses that The Weeknd's not sexy. He makes sexy music. Very sexy music. I think it's also just the mystique of him. Before he became like super famous, like pop star famous, he was a very mysterious guy. Like he barely did interviews. He just didn't really like release a lot of information. So he had like that kind of like mystique about him where it's like you can only like take the music and the little things that he would drop. And so you would have to like create a persona for him. But now that he's just like too exposed, I feel like that made him even less sexy. And again, I see more people are coming to their senses that The Weeknd's not sexy. Makes great music though. Amazing music.
God.
Now girl. Now girl. Alright, well, okay. I've been watching so far for about 40 minutes. I have not seen God in this show at all. Alright, let's just try again. Dang! Anyway, this whole scene of like back and forth, it kind of shows how Jocelyn is like very, I hate to say strong. That's not the word I'm looking for, but it's very like, she's in tune with how the industry works at this point. And I don't think she's even that old. So it's crazy how like jaded and like guarded you become as a person, like even when you're young, just because of the industry that you're in, you know, like obviously, I mean, you can't even tell if this woman right here, I forgot what her name is, but the editor, you can't even tell if she's being sincere, like she's actually trying to help Jocelyn, like get her to like talk about her problems, or if she's just trying to get a good story out of her. But either way, like Jocelyn, like whether she had good intentions or not, like Jocelyn is going to be on guard regardless, which is crazy. It's like, again, I can't imagine having to be so guarded and have to be like so jaded like all the time. Like, I just feel like it's not the way to live. I hate his hair, his wig, bro. I love the nose of my keyboard. What you bothering me for? Oh, he has a sinister face. That's very scary. I don't like that.
Hello, Angel.
I can't. I can't. Oh.
Hello, Angel.
Help. Restraining order immediately. Oh, okay. I'm gonna let this stop. I didn't realize at the time, like when she first popped up with it, but this is the same robe she was wearing at the beginning. So there's just some sort of like symbolism in it, because obviously in the beginning, even though it was her choice to like do that photo, like the album cover, like dressed like that, like there was a director who was kind of like forcing her to do like all these like emotions and faces. So it kind of shows that like she doesn't have actual full control over her career and like who she is. Like, again, objectification. So I wonder if it's kind of supposed to be either one, she feels the same type of objectification where she's like willing to like mold herself and mold her emotions for this man, and like it's represented in like the robe again, or two, she's the one in control this time because she made the choice to put it on, and she made a choice to like, you know, invite Tedros over, you know? So like, which one is it? Is it more like she feels the same type of objectification, or she has the power now? We shall find out because we still have some time left. It could also just be clothes, but I doubt it. I doubt it. How many cigarettes is this? Like, how many cigarettes at this point has she smoked? Like, girl, we get it.
We hate it.
I liked it.
I liked it.
It's a hit, yeah.
Really?
Now you can sing.
Well, wow. Okay. Let me just say, I'm gonna try to get all my thoughts out right now. So actually, I will say it was not bad. I still don't want to watch it because I don't want to give this freaking show like any credit or watches. But just based off the first episode, I know like a lot of I guess what's the problem is like on TikTok, people are saying it's cringe, it's like the worst show ever. But I mean, honestly, like it's very entertaining. So the first few minutes of the episode, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be like enough to keep my attention, but like it kept my attention the whole way through. Not because I'm just filming a video, but like literally, even if I wasn't filming a video, I would want to watch. And like I actually still want to keep watching, which is horrible. This is just predictions because I have not watched all the episodes, but I think people are kind of exaggerating how bad it is because there are a lot of cringy moments, and the content matter, and the fact that it has Sam Levinson and The Weeknd, who like aren't really popular people, like they're not really seen in the greatest light. But overall, I'm just actually pleasantly surprised. I'm kind of sad that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be because it was very entertaining. One thing about Sam Levinson, even though he does do a lot of like gratuitous stuff and like he's just kind of weird, his scenery is very beautiful. Like the shots that he makes like with his camera work is like very beautiful. And then I think when he does try, he can have like good themes in his work. Again, I think it's just that it gets so explicit and so gratuitous with that like it kind of overshadows like the actual development of the themes of the story. But I think when he does do it, he does it really well. So yeah, I liked it a lot. I'm kind of like, again, I'm like, bruh, I wish I didn't, but I did. It wasn't that bad. So yeah, I might watch the next episode. If you like the video, like the video. If you like me, think about subscribing. If you want to talk about the show or the episode at all, leave a comment down below and I'll respond. You can also DM me on Instagram and TikTok, which are linked down below. But yeah, honestly, if you think I should watch the next episode, I might not. I don't know how I feel about it. Just let me know. New background unlocked. Is that what they call it? New scenery unlocked? I don't know. Thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bro, those sound like gunshots. Oh my gosh, those sound like actual. Those sound like legitimate gunshots.